Welcome to the Slightly Biased Show. Welcome to the Slightly Biased Sports Entertainment Show. Welcome to the Slightly Biased Geopolitical News Show. We're going full politics now. It's a work in progress. I'm trying to rebrand. The FIBA World Cup is heating up. We are heading towards the second round of the tournament, and it's just been a joy to watch so far. So many great individual performances, so many great Cinderella stories and shocking events like France soiling their pants and Latvia heading on to the next round. It's all been so great to see. But who's been greater than Luka Doncic? No one. No matter what they try to tell you. Not a soul. Through the first 3 games of the tournament, he is averaging 30 points per game, which is the most across the entire tournament, 8 rebounds and 7 assists. And remember, this is FIBA. So it's 40-minute games, 10-minute quarters. The clock is running, so there's far fewer possessions. Flirting with a 30-point triple-double in this setting, it's just remarkable. But this is who FIBA Luka is. Luka's already one of the most talented players in the world. I think he's probably the 3rd best player on the planet, the 3rd best player in the NBA. In FIBA, he's a different beast entirely. He's probably the best FIBA player there is. He is first in the FIBA efficiency stat. This is a stat that FIBA has. They use it. They love it. They use it for all of their games. And here's the formula for the stat. I have it right here, okay? It is points plus rebounds plus assists plus steals plus blocks minus turnovers. 3 points missed, 2 points missed, and free throws missed. That's how you get that stat, and Luka is leading in that stat. So there you go, which is actually shocking considering he's shooting like 20% from 3, and we all know Luka's woes from the free throw line, even though they haven't been that bad in this tournament. He's also first in Hoops Hype's global rating score. What is this stat? I don't know. I try to get to the bottom of it. I try to figure out what is used to calculate this stat, and I don't know what to tell you, right? But you know, it's supporting my narrative. It's supporting my delusion, so I'm going to rock with it because that's how this thing works, okay? If this stat did not support my narrative, I would call it nerdy. I would call it stupid. I would single out anybody using this stat as a nerd analytics nerd who doesn't watch the games and is not a real hooper. But I'm not going to do that today. But perhaps best of all and most shocking of all, Luka is leading the tournament in steals per game. That's right, 3 steals per game. That is the best in the tournament. And before you even start crying to me about competition, oh my God, who is he playing? Cape Verde and Georgia? Shut up. All right? Politely, shut the hell up. I always find it interesting when we use the strength of opponent against a player, right? But like Team USA, oh my God, it's Anthony Edwards moments. Who the fuck have they played? Respectfully. So let's relax, okay? Luka's leading the tournament in steals per game with 3. Luka looks leaner. He's in better shape. His conditioning looks better. He has some burst that I haven't really seen from him in years. In fact, let's look at some defensive highlights from Luka. Oh, yeah, that's right. I can't show any FIBA highlights because FIBA is an asshole. That's right. Mr. FIBA, I'm talking to you, and I'm coming for you, buddy. My team of lawyers, we've been working nonstop, and it's not going to be pretty for you. I had a 2-hour stream a week ago where I showed 20 seconds worth of highlights from the Australia and Germany game hours before. That entire 2-hour stream was taken down and blocked by Mr. FIBA. Hey, you're done. You're finished. It's over for you. By the time I'm done with you, there's going to be no more international basketball. And I hate to do that to you guys, but something has to be done. Unfortunately, I don't have that power. So there will be no FIBA highlights because they scare me greatly. I talked about this a little bit on Twitter yesterday, and if you're not following me there, you should, @BiasSlightly. This is what should really hype up Mavs fans, right? We all know what Luka can do scoring-wise. We all know, yes, he's very capable of averaging 30 points per game in a 40-minute-per-game setting. That doesn't really shock us, which is just a testament to how insane Luka is. The near triple-doubles, that doesn't really shock us. The insane no-look passes, the full-court passes, none of that is really a surprise. We've seen him do it for 5 years now, right? But it's the other stuff. It's the game he had against Cape Verde where he only had 19 points and he didn't shoot the ball well at all, and he's still impacting the game with his absurd playmaking. He's running the floor. He's playing defense. He's actively trying on that end. He's not a great defender, right? But really what the Mavs need throughout Luka's career so far is he's been a net negative defender his whole career. They're much better defensively when Luka leaves the floor versus when he's on it. So can Luka get to a point where he's a neutral defender, maybe a slight positive defender where the team is good defensively when he's on the floor and they don't need him off the floor to really thrive as a defense? If he can get to that point, man, The sky is the limit for Luka. The sky is the limit for this Mavericks roster. So from what we've seen so far in this tournament, as a Mavericks fan, it's very encouraging to see what Luka has done defensively. Even though it's against easy opponents, even though there's still, ways to go, he's never going to win Defensive Player of the Year. Okay? This isn't NBA 2K. He's never making all defense or anything like that, but can he just be a neutral defender? And if the answer to that question is yes, fire that fucking music, baby. Fire it up. My man Shai Gilgeous-Alexander is also having a moment during this World Cup run. Canada has just been eviscerating opponents, and they were in a very, very tough group, right? Latvia, who's looked really good. We'll talk about them here in a bit. France, who, again, soiled their pants and embarrassed themselves in the biggest stage. And what's next for France? Because, okay, Wembanyama comes, and maybe they get Joel Embiid. Who's running guard? Like, that's their problem. Who's going to be their guard? Victor Wembanyama? But SGA, during Canada's dominant run in round one, he's second in the FIBA efficiency stat. He's second in the Hoops Height global rating behind Luka. He's just been tremendous. Look at this picture right here. Look at this. Imagine you're guarding a guy, and the guy you're guarding can do this. What are you even supposed to do? Pray? That's pretty much it. How do you have the lower body strength to pull this one off? My knee is crying right now. Even more so than it already is, just looking at this picture. Of course, Team USA, 3-0 as well. They've looked good. They've looked solid. They've had moments, though, where they've sort of, they were down 10 points at one point to New Zealand, and they've fallen asleep at the wheel at times where the bench will check in or certain guys will come out of the game and they'll just kind of let the team they're playing hang around and stick around. That's great whenever you're in as easy of a group as Team USA was in. The only active NBA player they've played so far is Thanasis Antetokounmpo, so you can get away with it against those teams. But when you get to the further stages and you're playing Spain and you're playing Germany and you're playing Canada, you're playing Slovenia, these slow starts and these just kind of falling asleep at the wheel times, that could come back to bite you in the ass. And while I think Team USA will take care of business and win this tournament, it's no guarantee. Like, they're going to have to play. And they're going to have to play for a full 40 minutes. Anthony Edwards has been tremendous. Obviously, he is the captain of the team. He is the best player on the team. They're treating him like the best player on the team. It's been interesting to watch, like, Jalen Brunson. I feel like the offense at times has looked a little bit strange when he's out there. It flows much more crisply when Tyrese Halliburton's in the game. And Brandon Ingram, I do kind of feel bad for him, right? Because there was a lot of talk that this was going to be Brandon Ingram's team. But he just doesn't fit. His play style doesn't fit. They're not giving him the ball. They're not letting him isolate. They're not letting him, go for mid-range jump shots. So his game is sort of taken a dive. I got to give him some credit, though. They benched him, and he's handled it well. So shout out to Brandon Ingram for that in that front. But people who thought that this was going to be his team, I don't know what they were expecting. And I don't know why they were expecting that, because it's not really an international brand of basketball. And Austin Reeves is obviously having a great tournament. I'll say this. I'm zagging, right? I'm zagging while everyone else is zigging. Unpopular opinion, I guess. I think Reeves is actually underrated now. That might sound insane to say. You people are like, oh, he's on the Lakers, that's why. Dude, Austin Reeves is fucking good. Like, it's time to cut the shit. All right, I get he's the white guy on the Lakers. Everyone's gonna hype him up. No, Reeves is really that guy. Like, he's really that good. He plugs and plays with pretty much any team. He can create for himself on the dribble. Some of the stuff he's done, in isolation, has been insane. He can play off the ball. He's a solid defender. He's just a really, really good player. And I'm tired of people being like, oh my God, Austin Reeves is so overrated. No, he's really not. He's really good. What else do we have? Rondé Hollis-Jefferson. This has obviously been one of the stories of the tournament. Literally and figuratively looking like Kobe Bryant out there. Imagine going back in time to like 2018 and going to Brooklyn Nets fans and saying, hey, listen, I know that Rondé Hollis-Jefferson just shot 18% from three for you guys, but in a few years at the World Cup, the spirit of the late, great Kobe Bryant will be flowing through Rondé Hollis-Jefferson, and he's going to have a moment on a world stage. They'd be like, what? Kobe died? Dennis Schroeder's also had a very good tournament so far as well, averaging 19 points per game, had a sick 30-point showing against Australia and a huge win for Germany. These two guys, like Schroeder, Rondé Hollis-Jefferson, if you didn't watch the NBA at all and you just kind of got thrown into this tournament, you'd think these are some of the best players in the world. Schroeder is always amazing in international play, just this quick, shifty guard. It just works. I also want to give a shout-out to Hamed Haddadi. Hopefully I'm saying that correctly, from Iran. He's 38 years old. This is his fourth World Cup and his final World Cup. And he's averaged 8.7 points per game, 5.7 rebounds, 4 assists per game. Like, I was watching one of their games, and I fully expected him to be Udonis Haslem. Like, I thought he'd be on the end of the bench and, just kind of a heartwarming story. No. They're like, he's the best player on their team. So that's pretty interesting to see. And Latvia, man, that was shocking. Their game against Canada, that was an awesome moment. Kristaps Porzingis obviously not playing with plantar fasciitis. Celtics fans, I did warn you. You guys were laughing about the Kyrie stuff. I said, hey guys, pump the brakes. If you believe in karma, I would stop. Anyways, it was cool to see that moment for them. Cool to see KP there. That's what it's all about. And unfortunately, Darius Bertans, who's their captain, is out for the rest of the tournament, so that sucks. I'm excited to see where this tournament goes. Of course, as we all know, the winner of this will not be the world champion. That is the winner of the NBA Finals. They are the world champions. So the Denver Nuggets are the world champions of the world. Shout out to the Denver Nuggets. Shout out to the world. Talk to you guys.